It's called Industry 4.0 or 4IR, shorthand for the Fourth Industrial Revolution. It's a digital revolution founded on artificial intelligence, and its networks are demanding that we straddle that virtual world as it interacts with our daily lives. This does not mean that humans are being dispensed with. On the contrary, people will still be very much needed. But it's the kind of jobs we do and the kind of training we need for these new jobs that is changing. And we will have to adapt our way of thinking about education, work, workplaces, and work practices accordingly. This in turn means that the way we teach and learn must become more interactive, multidisciplined, and collaborative. It means adapting laws, codes of behavior, and our responses to each other and our environment. How can we ensure that opportunity, education, careers, and capacitation remain firmly equal to all? At the University of Johannesburg, with our quest for global excellence and as an academic and research leader in Africa, the goals we're pursuing involve providing our graduates with the right tools to be at the forefront of its development. Our continent needs a truly inclusive vision. In other words, at UJ, we're committed to creating a teaching and learning environment that will retain and produce visionary, able, innovative people who remain firmly at the center of creating tomorrow. The University of Johannesburg, the future reimagined.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening and welcome to this special evening. Riti Molweni, Sanbonani, Huyanand, Riperilendi, Madekwanabudi, and a warm welcome to the UJ Orange Carpet Welcoming Event of 2023. My name is Ulisani Ravere. I am a seasoned broadcaster, and for the next 2 days, I am still the host of the 947 Weekend Breakfast. I'll host my final show this coming Saturday, and then after that, just a seasoned broadcaster, I guess. 26 years of experience, that's okay. I'll take it. Now, in my culture, it is only correct for me to introduce you to all those that I walk with, because as I stand here on the stage, I do not stand alone. So, nendifuulisani lingwedzi nandifumope ndisingo ndinesengani ndixitukulo xa ka xihlangu ni xitukulo xa ka maluleke ndi mdulu wa sikhwari mdulu wa chivase ndi ravele macekeceke o lambudza dzimavalanda a ri ndi do ni thavela kholomo macekeceke milenje mipfumbi ma hada u dudumela ndi madekwana vudi Now we are all welcome. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight is such a special evening, and it is a night that truly celebrates the young women and the young men that we have in our lives. I'd like to especially welcome all the parents and all the learners who are joining us here this evening in the auditorium, and also a warm welcome to all the parents and learners who are joining us via live stream from all across the country. Thank you for taking the time, and thank you so much for honoring this invite from UJ Orange Carpet. I'd also like to acknowledge the staff and representatives of all the faculties here at the University of Johannesburg. Mrs. Amanda Breitenbach from the Faculty of Art, Design and Architecture, Prof. Grace Ling, Faculty of Science, Prof. Reino Mayboom, Faculty of Science, Prof. Sivan Chetty from CBE, which is the College of Business and Economics, Prof. Susie Graham, Faculty of Humanities, Prof. Puseletso Litete, Faculty of Law, Prof. Thokozani Shongwe, Faculty of Engineering and Built Environment, and Prof. Craig Vincent Lambert from the Faculty of Health Sciences. All of you are welcome. All protocol observed. If I left you out, you are covered in all protocol observed. Thank you for joining us, ladies and gentlemen. Tonight is really a night about choices. I'm a firm believer that life is simply a series of choices. We as ketela. Whether you go left or right, every choice that you make will have a consequence that will reflect whether the choice you made was right or wrong. Every choice that we make is an opportunity for growth, and that is what tonight is about. us inspiring you and equipping you with the information to make UJ your institution of choice. I myself made that choice. 17 years ago, I sat in these very chairs as a first-year student at UJ. In 2009, I walked across the stage with my BCom Marketing Management degree. So as I see these young faces looking back at me, I am reminded of the journey I too have had to walk and know exactly what it is that you're about to experience as the class of 2003, when pens down hits, 2024 is going to bring a whole new reality and a whole new, very big world to you. Statistics and logistics almost took me out, almost didn't make it to the end of my degree, but I held on, and mama, I made it. Thank you. Tonight, you will hear from both learners who are going to share their first-hand experience, exactly what it is that you're going to be going through next year, should you choose UJ to be your institution of choice. You'll also hear from leaders in departments. That's more for the parents, really, you know, the people who dot the I's and cross the T's and want to know, that's good and well, how much? How much will it all be, and what do I need to do? So we're going to be sharing all that information with you tonight, and all of this is to aid you in making a well-informed decision to begin the next chapter in your children's lives. A few housekeeping rules. If you could please ask that all cell phones are on silent or on vibrate. If you are looking for the bathrooms, you can just step out into the foyer and we have ushers ready to assist you. And then this fun housekeeping, I don't know about you, but working at a radio station, one thing we're very popular for is competitions, competitions, competitions. Anybody love some free stuff? I am not ashamed to say I love free stuff. Oh, no one on this side, okay? So I will ask all the questions to the people on this side. I'm going to be running a few competitions throughout our evening tonight, so make sure that you listen very carefully, because I'll ask a question every now and then, and hopefully we'll get some nice prizes to you. So sorry if you're joining us via live stream. You'll just have to enjoy the entertainment, bandla. Siyaxolisa. Let's jump straight into our first item for this evening, and this is hearing from somebody who's been a part of the eugenius program. This is a student experience that they'll be sharing with us. Ladies and gentlemen, first up, speaking on behalf of the Orange Carpet Experience, please welcome Bongani.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening, students. It's so quiet. Good evening, guys. How are you? I can't hear you guys. The second best institution in Africa, and you're so quiet. How are you? How are you? Okay, so my name is Bonga Sekaniteche. I studied here. Just finished my master's. And I'm just going to take you guys through the Eugenius Club and place the Eugenius, the orange carpet, and where does it fit into the Eugenius Club. So what is the Eugenius Club? I'm not going to give you the whole history, but you have to know it's a very prestigious club to be in. It's a Vice-Chancellor's initiative club. It's an initiative that was started by the Vice-Chancellor to acknowledge outstanding academic performance. And you will see what I mean by that when I'm looking into the requirements on how to join the club and how to stay into the club. So what do I mean by that? And as I say, the club focuses on many, many things, but one of the most important things that we do, it acknowledges academic development. And when we do that, then as the Eugenius Club, it houses those students from different faculties. As you know, as you have seen outside, we have different faculties, your faculty of science, your law, education, and everything. And all those students then who will form part of, it's okay. Okay, perfect, thanks. And then all those students, those who meet the requirements to join the club, they will be part of this Eugenius Club, and then we're going to offer the benefits that I'm going to talk about later on. Then the club also it focuses on promoting the UJ values, in creating a social space, as I've mentioned. So being part of the club, you're not only going to be like the top students from the Faculty of Science, or also going to be part of the students from other faculties. Then you get the opportunity to network and engage. And as you proceed with your first year, third year, and final year, we take you through to the alumni community, and you get to also to engage with some of the people who are already working and maintain those contacts and networks. Let's try to proceed. And again, as I've just mentioned, it focuses on creating opportunities for close contact with the broader UJ community, which is, as we'll talk about the alumni community. You know, when you move, so from now, you are Orange Carpet, and then you're going to be part of the eugenius club. And then the question is, what happens when you graduate? Then you join the alumni network, which is why when you say we focus on creating the closer contacts with which has become the broader UJ community. Okay, we are going to talk later on about the connections and the privileges that you get for being part of the club. And I guess then if I were to place, so it starts, where does it all start? It starts in grade 11. Honestly, obviously when we consider the students that are going to be part of the club. So we consider your results from grade 11, and as you're coming to the university, you're going to form part of the Orange Carpet students. We call you the Orange Carpet students. And then once you come to the university, your first year, you meet the requirements for the club, and then you're going to be like now part of the eugenius club from your second year to your third year. And if you're doing the courses that advance to fourth year, then you're going to be part of final year, then you continue to be part of the club. Now, obviously, as I've been mentioning, if there's one thing that I have to keep reiterating here, we acknowledge you have to maintain that average, those minimum requirements to be part of this club. So that's how you are. We're going to look shortly on how you selected, but most importantly, that's where the Orange Carpet students, they fit in the eugenius club, and then how are you selected? As I've mentioned earlier, it starts from grade 11. The requirements, and you know, most when you tell people that I'm part of the eugenius club, and then they ask you how did you become, and then you tell them, they think it's hard. It's not that hard. I tell you, it's not that hard. You just need to focus and know what you're doing and why you came to UJ. You need a minimum of 70% in all your modules with an average of 75%. That's where we start. For you, even your faculty to recommend you to the club to join, we need to see that you have an average of 75% with no module below 70%. And then you need, as an Orange Carpet student, to join the club, you need to have a minimum APS of at least 37%. And that is good if you actually meet that 37% APS, because you're going to see some of the benefits that you get just by having them that 37% APS. And then most importantly, you need to meet all the requirements for your chosen program. Let's say you wanted to study, you've chosen, I'm going to use law. If you want to study LLB, you need to meet all the requirements, all the minimum requirements for the program. And then once you meet all those requirements that I've mentioned from grade 11 and grade 12, then you are going to be part of this group, or well, you're already part of this group. And to those who are watching from home and you're hoping, if you meet these requirements, then next year we'll be sitting with you in the very same space where they are currently sitting. Okay, perfect. And then as you come as an Orange student, and then you become now in your first year, obviously you're going to be studying, and then you write your final exams, and then come the second year, and then they are going to, again, review your academic records and see if you still meet the requirements, and then you're still going to continue being invited to be part of the eugenius club from second year, third year, and final year. Or most important, you need to apply on time, guys, hey? Okay, let's move on. Okay, and then as I've already mentioned, now when you are in your second year, how does then you don't have to apply? Well, that's the nice thing about it. Well, technically, I think you have to apply because you have to give the 70% and well, an average of 75%. And once you meet those requirements, then your faculty will just nominate you to the eugenius club. And the most important thing, or the nice thing, will be sitting at home, and then you're just going to receive an email, a random email from the eugenius club telling you that you're one of the top 1% at the University of Johannesburg, and you're going to get the certificate and everything. So you don't have to apply. As I've mentioned, all courses, you need the 70% and the average of 75% or more. And it's very important that when you choose to apply, you have chosen a program and you have applied for all your courses. You shouldn't, along the year and see that, oh, actually this module is hard. Statistics is very, very hard, and so I'm just going to cancel statistics and then continue with others, and so that I can maintain my average. If you do cancel any module, then you won't meet the requirements to stay in the club. And most important, you would see also if you were in second or third year and you have received the bursary and you decide to cancel the module, they're also going to cancel the bursary. So it's very important to make sure that you comply with all the requirements. What are the benefits of being in this club? I think that's the most important thing. The first thing, when you apply from grade 11, because remember, you come in as an orange carpet student, so when you apply in your grade 11 with your grade 12, or in your grade 12 with your results from grade 11 and your March grade 12, you get a conditional admission status. That means, while everyone is stressing that, oh, I've applied at UJ and I haven't had anything, you already know that, hey, listen, we're making an offer to you, you just needed to pass, and we're going to take you. That's that's the first benefit. But obviously, the offer that you get is conditional, and the condition is that you still need to pass your final grade 12, obviously with the marks and meeting the minimum requirements for that specific course. You're going to get the University of Johannesburg Merit Bursary. We're going to touch on the Merit Bursary and how it's awarded later on when we're looking into the APS, the different APS scores and everything. And then, here it is actually. So let's say, how the Merit Bursary works is if you're in your final score, when you're calculating your APS, your APS falls between 37 and 39, you're going to get 50% bursary towards your tuition fees. And then if your APS is 40 to 41, you're going to get 75% off from your tuition fees. And then if it's 42%, you're going to get 100% off towards your tuition fees. Isn't that great? I mean, in this economy, everything keeps going up. And then you're just coming here. The only thing you just need to know, put in the hard work, study so hard, guys. And it's possible. And a greater benefit, if it's higher than 42, you get it 100% bursary towards the tuition fee plus 5,485 rand. The benefits. Okay, let's move forward. Oh, I think also one of the most, before I shouldn't forget it, this one, we waive the registration fee. I think it's the most, speaking from experience, the most frustrating thing as a student when you're applying, you get the admission a letter from UJ saying that you've been admitted, you have to pay the 3,000 something, 400 and something for registration, and you don't have the money. And when you get the offer, it's usually you'll be told that you have until this date to register. And with that, then they get to waive all the registration fee payable. Okay, and also you get the 2,000 rand textbook voucher that you can use at our bookstores on campus. You guaranteed the UJ residence accommodation if you apply on time, and then there's also a sports bursary if you are in athletic and you play sports. And then we have a psych-ed, which they provide career counseling and library privileges. You would see that you get to take a certain number of books compared to other students. For example, you get to take 16 instead of taking 4 like other ordinary students from the university. The most important thing, you get that certificate, which is going to help you greatly, immensely when you're applying. That shows that you are one of the top students at the University of Johannesburg. Okay, I've mentioned, so I think that the last slide, I was going to talk about the alumni network. What happens then when you have finished your qualification? We do have the eugenius alumni network that we just recently established. Then you're going to be part of that, which again, there are great benefits. And when we plan those events, then you're going to be invited, and then we're going to talk about the benefits for the club. Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you Thank you so much, Tubonga, for giving us insights and that introduction into the program. Can we just take a moment to applaud the young women and the young men in this room, because the fact that you received an invitation to be here already means that you are one of one, top of the top, best of the best. So congratulations to you. I cannot begin to imagine what the young lived experience is like today. You're facing so many different pressures than we faced when we were younger, but here you are still working hard and still making it, and that deserves for us to acknowledge you. You're probably thinking to yourself, so okay, today I qualify, I'm in the orange carpet gang, you know, and then I'm gonna make it up to Eugenius Club when I start my first year. Why does all of this matter? I think in addition to what Mongai was sharing, it really comes down to that saying of network is net worth. The people, the alumni that you're going to become a group of, a part of, you don't know who's the CEO of the next big company. You don't know who's going to be the person that starts up the next big thing. And relationships are what get people further in life. Yes, it is your smarts, it is your book smart, it is your qualification, but over and above that, if I was a person that was sitting with two people's job applications in front of me who worked just as hard as the other at school, whose results looked exactly the same, but one of them belonged to a club or had a relationship with someone that I knew, do you know who's going to get the job? The person that has the relationship. And so it's so important to remember that life isn't just about academics. It is also about networking and making relationships with people, because you don't know who they'll be tomorrow. Thank you once again, Tubonga. I hope you're listening carefully, because after this, the first question will be coming out for the first prize that I'm going to be giving away. But to share their first-hand experience from the Eugenius Club, I'd like to welcome Olivia, Lena, as well as Nogutaba, to just let the learners know what it actually feels like, why you should actually even apply further to what Bonga shared with us. I'd like to ask our speakers to please be mindful of time. We did start a little bit late, so if you see me, you know, prancing a little bit towards you, it's because I'm saying 16 Ibambe. Thank you.
Good evening, everybody. So firstly, I believe this is a room full of like smart people. So as Bonga said, I mean, 75 is not bad, right? I mean, it's just 75, it's not 90, 100, 75 average, then you're in. So I think it's something that we can keep doing. But firstly, congratulations for everybody being here. It is such a big deal. And I also want to remind you that the Eugenius Club, it is the top 1% of the university. So meaning that you are the top of the university. And I can tell you that's very addictive, okay? Like I became addicted to that. So when I was a first year student, so in high school, I always wanted to be top 3. If I was top 2, I wouldn't eat that day because I was like, but there's top 1, what happened, okay? But I was like, okay, it's fine. Then we got to university. Everything you do in university now is a bit different. You're good in mathematics, but now there's university mathematics. Okay, I'm not trying to scare you, but I'm being realistic, okay? So I was like, okay, things are getting a bit serious here. Am I still gonna be that top 1 that I was in my metric, okay? So what I did was, firstly, because I knew that it is possible, somebody has done it before, so I was like, you know what? Let me try to understand first what I'm studying. So the first tip is, I wanted to understand my course. I would know, okay, civil engineering, it's about 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, but what exactly is civil engineering? So I took my time to read as many sources as possible for me to understand what I'm studying. Then after that, it was easier for me to make targets, because now I would know what are my weaknesses and my strengths. So if I knew that, okay, mathematics seems like it's gonna be a problem in my life, then I would actually make that my priority. I did not set unrealistic timetables. I know a lot of people first year, trust me, maybe half of you, if not all of you, are going to be having timetables that are very unrealistic. To be like, okay, Monday I'll be studying mathematics, Tuesday physical science, Wednesday I'm gonna be doing this. I am in it to win it. Trust me, within like 2 to 3 weeks, it's not gonna work like that. Because now you're going to relax more. You know, it's university. University is a nice life. You know, it's a different experience. So that's the reason why you have to know your weaknesses and your strengths. So what you're good at, you focus on it, but you know that there is this thing here that I need to put more time on. So that's what I did. So first year, I must tell you, it's hills. Okay, I won't really mention what happened, but it had its things in it. Then I was like, no, girl, you have to pull up your socks here, okay? Then that's when I did reviews. So I had my personal introspections to say, okay, what went down? Why did I get a 72 on this while I got an 85 on this thing? What went wrong? Then I dropped that down and try it again on the second semester, or you'd call it a term, and see if what I did wrong can be improved. So that is the second thing that I did. And thirdly, I remained consistent. So for me, there was no room of dropping to say that, okay, nah, this was June. I know things are very hard in June. My 50 is fine. 50 is a pass, 51 is a distinction. You know what? I'm going to be fine. We're like, no, you know? So I was like, no, we cannot drop. So if I drop, it means there is a problem because there was 100 for me to get, but I did not get it. So what happened? Then again, I review and stay consistent. So when I got my invite to the Eugenius Club, I was like, okay, what is this? You know, the email looked very colorful and everything. I was like, okay, seems like this is very interesting. Then when I read it, I was like, I'm the top 1%. You did not see me what I told my mom. Mom, I'm number 1 at UJ. You know? It felt so nice because this is the top of the top. So once I was in, there was no way out because the risky part about this, I can give you the tip, is that consistency, again, is very important. Once you drop with one module, yeah, we're just going to give you that break for you to sort yourself out. Then when you're ready, you'll join us again as a club, you know? So I was like, yo, there's no room for 65s anymore here. The pressure is real. So without saying more further, I can give you tips that I did apply. So firstly, it is set realistic timetables. And then secondly, do a review, what went wrong, how can you fix that? And the third one, have fun. I know there are parents here, I'm not meaning that other fun, okay? But have fun, take care of yourself, look beautiful. You know, keep a healthy mind because a happy soul will do greater things. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for sharing that experience. If I could please ask Lena and Nogutaba to both come up so that you can speak one after the other. Whilst they're coming up, I am a grown-up, so I can easily tell you this. Varsity is about balance, hey? That's all it is. There's no such thing as balance, but you're going to have to figure it out for yourselves, because I won't lie, university immunity, if there's one thing and one time in my life I wish I could relive, it's definitely varsity days. Over to you, ladies.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening, everyone. It's such an honor to be standing here in front of you. But firstly, before I start, I would like to congratulate each and every one of you for making it here. Already, this shows that you're on the right track and more to go. In just a few years' time, you will also be waking up Mr. West, like Kanye West did, so look forward to that. But before you get there, like myself, you have to go through the university experience, both good and the bad, and for you to make it, you'll need so much resilience, and you'll have to be open to adapting to a new reality. Being part of Eugenius opened so many doors for me. Not only did I become part of a very prestigious club and attend amazing Eugenius events, but it boosted my confidence and it gave me an upper hand in being selected whenever I was applying for job positions and stuff like that. For example, I worked as a residence academic advisor at the Ndlovukazi Ladies Residence, and this year I'm working at the library as a student assistant. And it's safe to say that my academic excellence did all the talking, and yes, I went through all the interviews and did an amazing job, but my academic excellence is the main character in my success. My ultimate favorite thing about being a eugenius student is receiving all those emails stating that I should come and fetch my certificate. And when I look at my academic results, I would see that it's written UJ top, eugenius top student, top achiever. And that feeling, nothing compares to it, honestly. Like, whenever I think about it, nothing ever compares to it. You will experience it for yourself. And it's literally like getting a pat on your shoulder for all the hard work. And this, for me, served as a reminder of how amazing I am, regardless of how difficult things get. And when I needed it the most, it came at a time when I really needed it the most. And but then I get to I get all those reminders that actually, Lena, keep on keeping on, baby girl, because you've got this every time I get those reminders. And if there's one thing that I've learned from my experience is that your academic excellence and determination can put you in rooms that you never in your wildest dreams thought you would get into. But one thing for sure, it wasn't easy, because being in university is such a roller coaster ride. You are going to meet new people, have freedom that you possibly never had before, and have new experiences, whether good or bad, and things sometimes might not even go your way or how you expected. But as your big sister, I would like to advise you that please remind yourself of why you are here, because that will put you where you want to be, and it will continuously motivate you to keep on keeping on until the world sees you as an exceptional person that you are. And also, please stay disciplined, because it's going to save you from a lot of things. But don't forget to allow yourself to have the full varsity experience. And remember that you're not alone. As top performing students, we tend to have this tendency of wanting things to be under control and tell yourself that you've got this. But trust me, it's okay to ask for help. There are people and facilities in place that are meant to help you. For example, if you're going to live at Reds, there are RAAs, there are mentors, and there are HKs that are in place to help you whenever you need help. And in class, there are tutors as well. And also, we have amazing libraries where you could get all the information and resources. So literally, you don't have to suffer in silence. And also, I don't want to be long, but as a small town girl, I would like to close off by saying hard work really pays off. And I can't say this enough. Remember why you are here. Because, like I said, this journey you're about to embark on won't be an easy one. For you to understand it better, I would compare it to a situation where you're living in an answered prayer. Whenever you're in that answered prayer, it's easy for you to forget that you actually once upon a time prayed to be in that position. So always remember that you prayed to be in this position whenever it gets hard, and you can continue keeping on. And in the same regard, when university, njolo, and friendships get hard, because trust me, they will, they're going to rock you. Remember of how hard you prayed and worked to get here, and use that as your motivation to step out your estimate and step in your essence, and remember that you're excellent, okay? And that you've got this. You've got this.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Nogutaba Chima, and I am a first year here at UJ and an aspiring chartered accountant. Today, I stand before you filled with boundless excitement, sharing my journey not only as a first year student, but an orange carpet international student. And I must say, my journey here at UJ began on a good note. As an international student, the process was smooth and welcoming. From being told I was accepted for the course of my dreams, but better news that I qualified as an Orange Carpet student. Receiving the Orange Carpet bursary has brought me indescribable joy. It represents the dedication and hard work I poured into my studies and the long nights of burning the midnight oil. It has also been a great push in my studies this year to persevere in moments of adversity and be the greatest academic version of myself. So I implore you, all you matriculants watching here today, to keep on pushing on those finals. It is worth it. All top achieving students who are here today must serve as a reminder that dedication, perseverance, and passion can open doors to unimaginable success, like standing here in front of you today. With that, I say congratulations. This is an honor and a gift. I implore you to seize this opportunity and embrace challenges, and never underestimate your capabilities. As William Arthur Ward eloquently put it, if you can imagine it, you can achieve it. If you can dream it, you can become it. So let this orange carpet be a symbol of what is possible if we choose to believe in ourselves and strive for greatness. In conclusion, I stand here humbled and filled with gratitude for my experience as an Orange Carpet international student. Thus, I say thank you to UJ for this opportunity to further my dreams. I will forever be grateful. Thank you, Ngiyabonga.
Thank you so much to Olivia, Lena, as well as Nogutaba for sharing their experience. Are you ready for that first competition? Are you ready for the competition? The winner's definitely coming from this side. So I'm asking this side only. Question number 1. I can't know now this side. I don't know what's happening. I don't know. I'll come back to you later. Question number 1. And please put your hand up and don't give everybody the answer. You don't know what I'm asking. My sister, that's cheating. Where are the auditors in the room? The ones that are going to study auditing, that's cheating. The Eugenius Club, which celebrates top achieving students, is an initiative which was initiated by who? This lady over here in the nice jacket. May I have your jacket? Stand up quickly. What's your name? Melo? Melo Guhle. The answer is? The Vice Chancellor is correct. Well done. We will be getting a prize over to you right now. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, our first entertainment piece for the evening, for those who are not only, students that are all about the books, the numbers, and balancing all those things, but perhaps you have a bit more of an artistic side. UJ also has the UJ Arts Academy, and this evening we are going to be spoiled with a performance from them. Please welcome them.
Good evening. My name is Manqoba Nseni. I'll be performing a poem for you. I write poetry whenever poetry invites me. So let's take a walk through Sky Street, where many live eternally in memories. Let's take a walk through my street, where many people live eternally in memories. Let's write some poetry. I write poetry as intricate as prayer. I write a prayer as intricate as a poem written on a page of imagination and dropped into a box of dreams, saying, find me a tattered tree under which I can write my poetry. Find me in an ocean as deep as my thoughts. Find me, for I am a lost poet. My tongue is like lead heavy, producing wooden speech, dull and uninteresting to those who are searching for those eye-catching scenes, to those thirsty for the mouth-watering promise of dreams, uninteresting. So I look on with envy at those who have silver tongues and produce poems as fine as gold. I hang desperately on their every word, captivated by their worlds. As they pour out the contents of their souls, I drink and I enjoy the streams of poetry. And I'm reminded that the lines fall on us in pleasant places. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Whitney, and I will be reciting a poem called Meesterstuk. Meesterstuk is masterpiece in Afrikaans. Meesterstuk. Who am I? I have my father's face and my mother's nurturing nature. I try to be quiet and meek, but I am a loud, fierce woman. I have something to say, and I want it to be heard. I am powerful and I am magic. I was born a star. I am loved by the moon. I'm as yellow as the sun and hopefully as humble as a tomb. I laugh when I am happy, and when I am sad, I'm not afraid to cry, but I do struggle to ask for help. It has taken a lot to be me. I've always felt different, foreign, abstract, but I have come to enjoy the complexity in my being. I may be water today, but tomorrow I'll be the sea, and after perhaps a desert. Do not listen to find out who I am. See, look, watch. I'm a portrait with all that I am painted on it. I am art. How long my creators must have taken to create me. Thank you.
That was impeccable, both of you. Thank you so much for sharing those words with us. We've been seeing her name for a very long time on our screens, and so we'll move straight on to her piece for this evening to share and just speak on the psychological impact of the first year experience and what support there is out there for the first years from the Center for Psychological Services and Career Development here on campus, PsyCAD. Please welcome Miss Winnie Makwanya.
Thank you very much. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, everyone. Thank you. So I'm a ball of energy, right? And I would like to have an interaction session, and I'm just going to quickly introduce myself. So I am Winnie, and I am a psychology profession. I'm registered as a registered counselor, and I am extremely passionate about youth development. I've been in youth development for the past 10 years, and particularly interested and love looking at a person holistically and obviously assisting someone to be the best version of themselves. So I'm based at PsyCAD, and I'm going to tell you a bit more about PsyCAD. But before I do that, I just want to find out who's excited about university? Yeah? Okay, nice. Who knows what they want to study? Who's confident? I know what I want to study and I'm going. All right. Now, who's confused about what they want to study? Who's not sure? Who's still trying to figure it out? All right. And who's nervous about university? Ah, okay. Interesting. It's like a little balance that's going on. So for those that are nervous and for those that are not sure what they want to study, not to worry. I'm hoping that after this session that I'm having with you, that at least you'll have something to think about. All right. So starting your journey towards academic and career success, right? I'm sure you all know that we have, how many campuses do we have? Great. I think can I get some assistance? There you go. We have 4 campuses, right? And PsyCAD is on all 4 campuses. And what we really focus on is ensuring a successful academic life journey, because we know it's a new environment that you're going to be entering into, right? And definitely you're going to meet people from all walks of life, different personalities, different cultures, and definitely a different environment. And we want to make sure that you have that support. We want to be able to help you in transitioning from high school into university, right? To ensure that you are going to have a great start and obviously have that journey as success. So these are our 4 campuses, and I sit at Kingsway, which is this very campus, the APK, and PsyCAD is on all 4 campuses, so no matter which campus you're based on, the support will be there. So now I'm going to speak a little bit about our services, right? So as I mentioned before, that we really want to make sure that we look at an individual holistically. We offer various kinds of services, counseling and therapy. And PsyCAD is divided into 2 divisions, right? We've got the therapy side where you get help, and we also have the career services side where I sit at, and I also help with career counseling. So you can literally walk into PsyCAD, even now, and you can get assisted by a walk-in service, and we can have a session, particularly around career or career advice, and you'll get assisted. And this service is obviously free to all UJ students, so there isn't any payments involved. And also, we also offer career assessments. So if you're sitting down and you're not sure what you really want to do, you can definitely approach us and we can help you to book a career assessment. And we do loads of workshops throughout the year. We develop our students. We do workshops around career, mental health. We really try to get as many students involved in our engagement so that they feel part of a community. And we do a lot of campaigns, and we have peer buddy programs where you can volunteer at our PsyCAD office, where you then get engaged with what we do, and you get to be some sort of a leader towards your peer and also your classmates as well. And we have a 24-hour crisis line. So this is available, like it says, 24 hours. So even if you are at res and you don't feel okay and you need help immediately, you can call this line and there'll be someone else on the other end of the line. And we also have a support for students with disabilities, and they run programs as well, and they give very, very focused support as well for our students with disabilities, and we work with faculties to support you. And I'll get a little bit more into that as I go further. All right, so a little bit more about the crisis line. You're welcome to take a snapshot of it. There's referral systems as well. So if we need to refer you to additional assistance, we do provide that referral assistance. So we make sure that our students definitely do receive that service that they need. And we also provide campus health as well. Okay, so just to give you a little bit of information regarding our Office of People with Disabilities, as I mentioned that, it's a dedicated office and they do offer, specific services to our students. And these are the various services that are offered. There's a strong support structure, and obviously there is initiatives that go through with our students, be it requirements for wheelchair or any other needs. We are definitely there as an office to assist our students. Now the career side. So as I said, PsyCAD is, you can think of it as two sides of services, the psychological and the career side. And what I love about this is that we also offer career fairs, right? So we make sure that from first year, students are exposed to companies. You can already attend company engagements, be it an industry talk or be it a company presentations where they're recruiting. We help you to find volunteering opportunities, internships, and things like that. And these happen throughout the year. And we work with various companies, from big to all small industries, and we really want our students to start from first year, to start developing those soft skills, to start building that confidence, so that whatever you study, you're already involved from an early age and you're meeting industry leaders so that you can set yourself up for the future. And I think, as it was said, network, right, is your net worth. So you start networking already as a first-year student. Interview skills, CV writing, career discussions, we really help you with that as well to make sure that you know how to do your CV, to advertise yourself appropriately. Okay, and just to close off our resource center, so when you walk into our resource center, there's materials that you can use, there's workbooks, there's recruitment guides, and we also post flyers and information we get from companies. If they're advertising opportunities, you just walk into the center, collect what you need to collect, and there's support right there. And we've got a career portal that is also very, very important to know. And this is just information about our psychometrics assessments. If you're not sure what you want to study, we definitely offer that. And yes, I think I'm going to round off because I can see you're approaching. But I want to tell you guys, just from my last words, that you're not alone during first year. We are here to support you guys. PsyCAD is there and ready to support you. And I encourage you guys to be inquisitive. I encourage you guys to really, really put yourself out there and approach it with both hands and be excited for the journey that you're about to start. And if you're feeling lost, just come and knock on the door and help us there. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Winnie. I think I can firmly attest to saying that it's okay not to be okay. I know it's a Demi Lovato song, but I genuinely mean it. And I'm a person who swears by therapy. I'm in therapy as often as I need to be in, because you don't always have to have it all together. And all I believe therapy is somebody else holding up a mirror so that you can have a conversation with yourself and help you process the many emotions and things that you're going through. So please do not ever feel ashamed that you're going to seek counseling, whether it's for emotional things, something that's happening at home, or something that you need help with at school. So please take full advantage of everything that PsyCAD has to offer. Our next speaker is coming from student finance. This is when the parents are going to sit up now. This is when they're going to sit up now. I'd like to welcome Mr. Tendani Nembidzane to really just speak through us through the finances and the numbers of everything that it entails to be a student here at UJ.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Tendani Nembidzane. I'm the senior manager responsible for our student finance. We are based on this campus, or personally I'm based on this campus, but our departments are spread across the 4 campuses of the University of Johannesburg. Maybe just to start the engagement of tonight, I must just say at UJ, we care, and at UJ, we reward hard work. I know as you are sitting here, there are a lot of students that might be asking themselves, what is going to happen should I pass my matric? We have been in the very same stage when we passed our matric. Majority of the South Africans, as things stand, economically, things are not going well, people are losing their jobs, and the hopes of going to the university, I think they are deteriorating on a day-to-day basis. In the previous weeks, I attended one of the conferences of the South African Student Finance Forums in Durban, where plus or minus 20 universities were represented. It is a reality in the current South African political conjuncture that the student debt is going up on a day-to-day basis. NSFAS, as things stand, those that watch his news, you might have realized that they also defunded some of the students that were previously funded because parents went to submit the documents thinking they're going to be funded even though the collective household income was above 350,000 per annum. Which means if you are owing more than 350,000 per annum, you will not be able to qualify for NSFAS. You get to be categorized under the new phenomenon that we call the missing middle, which means the universities themselves will need to go out on a journey to go and fundraise for the students that are not going to be catered for by NSFAS, provided also that their families cannot be able to afford. But for the previous 10 years or so, while I've been in the University of Johannesburg, our registration fee have not been increasing. The registration fee of the University of Johannesburg, as things stands, is 3,870 if you will be traveling or not residing at rest, and if you will be residing at rest or any of our internal residents, is 6,470. It is good news to you who are sitting here that should this condition that you are supposed to meet, you meet them and you successfully become the orange carpet students, you will be registering for free. You will be registering for free. On top of this free registration, you will also be given a book voucher of 2,000 Rand. Just to kickstart you so that you can be able to buy those important materials for you to be able to start with your academic journey. And then from there on, there's going to be all those bursaries that There's going to be all those bursaries that they have been talking about, wherein if you have achieved plus or minus 36 APS score, we will be giving you 30% discount towards your fees. Which means if you get that APS, the 30% will waive it off. Should you get between 37 and 39, 50% is going to be the responsibility of the university, and the parent will only pay the 50%. Should you get 41, between 40 and 41, 75% of the fees will be waived off. And 42 and above, you are going to get 100% of your fees waived off, which means in that particular year, or in 2024, you will study for free. Statistically, the orange carpet students are increasing at UJ because we deem it as an important intervention to bring about the students that are good performers into the university system. In 2021, we assisted a total number of 696 students. In 2022, we assisted 1,140. In 2023, which is the current academic year, we assisted 1,612. Which means this is just supporting factor that yes, indeed, at UJ we care and we really reward hard work. Just when I'm also in these very same numbers, I must say, for those that sit in the enrollment committee meetings, they will attest when I say, once your results are out and you are orange carpet because you are our VIPs, we as student finance get to be given 48 hours to unblock all of you to register. While other parents of the students whom are trying to fundraise the 3870 or the 6470, and those that are still waiting for some of their bursaries to respond, the orange carpet students, as soon as their results are out and they are confirmed, we unblock them within 48 hours, which means for the opportunity of you losing your space is very less. You know, during January, the hurry up, the up and down, wherein people are looking for spaces and all those things, and they tell you that all universities are full. We prioritize our orange carpet students. This is just a spreadsheet that we created so that we can also show you additional bursaries that we have. I'm finishing now. For those that are playing sports, if you are going to play for UJ accredited sporting codes, you will also be entitled to a bursary. These bursaries also, some of them, they pay full tuition. You will realize that in 2023, we have budgeted 18 million for students that are involved in sports. To date, we have only used 7 million, which means if there are any students that are playing sports here, next year that bursary is going to increase. We have already dealt with our budget now. Exchange students, international, if you are coming from outside, there is a bursary reserved for you. Underprivileged students, if you are orange carpet, you are doing well, and then we can be able to prove through the means test that you are coming from a background wherein your parents cannot be able to afford. We have budgeted for you. The other one are choir and arts and culture. I saw there's arts and culture that is performing here. You are also budgeted under this if you do complete your studies, and then from there on you are doing all the attendance. You are also going to be catered for under that. The total number of the budget that we have done for 2024, of which it has increased with 5% for 2024. In 2023, we had budgeted 124,673,000, just so that we can be able to cater for your studies at UJ. It's just that we do not have sufficient time. If we had sufficient time, we were still going to give you more information, but you are more than welcome to visit the Student Finance website on the UJ, or the Student Finance page on the UJ website for all this information that I was trying to share with you here. But you are more than welcome at the University of Johannesburg, and if you meet all these conditions, we are also going to make sure that we meet you halfway through the fees of the University of Johannesburg. Thank you very much.
Parents, you feeling a bit better? Every little bit helps. That 2,000 Rand voucher towards textbooks, every little bit helps. I will attest to the fact that my APS score when I registered to study at UJ managed to pay for almost all my res fees for the first year. It really, really pays off to work hard and to help your parents, you know, just to take that little step. Our second last item on our program this evening is one that will definitely leave you with your jaw on the floor and inspired above all else. Our keynote speaker for this evening, Dr. Sherry Kruger. Dr. Sherry Ann Kruger studied and graduated as well as works here at the University of Johannesburg for the last 17 and a half years. Almost as long as some of you have been alive, I know. She is currently employed at the Faculty of Health Sciences in the Complementary Medicine Department. She's a full-time academic researcher, lecturer, in addition to being responsible as a coordinator and manager for innovative research at the University of Johannesburg. Oh, I beg your pardon. Coordinator and manager for the complementary medicine research facilities. Dr. Kruger is passionate and dedicated about undergraduate lecturing as well as postgraduate supervising, and she's a visionary leader here at the institution, which allows for innovative research at the University of Johannesburg. She currently holds an impressive Scopus H index of 17. If you don't know what that is, you and I are going to be Googling it after tonight. And she's also published 2 book chapters, 4 conference proceedings, and 20 journal publications internationally. That's a remarkable achievement. Wow. According to her AD Scientific World Ranking Index for 2023, she is currently graded within the top 39 percentile of internationally globally ranked scientists for her specialization in microbiology, complementary medicine, antimicrobial resistance, cancer, and photodynamic therapy. A super smart woman. This evening, Dr. Kruger is here as our keynote speaker to inspire all of us through talking about her life journey so far at the university, from being an undergraduate student, just as you're going to be from next year, and to how she's become so accomplished in her career. Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Sherry Kruger.
Wow, that was quite an introduction. I'm fairly quiet, a humble person. So yes, when it comes to introductions like that, there's something you've got to understand. And first of all, congratulations to every single one of you sitting today here as orange carpet. Potential, well, top achievers, as you will call it. 17 years, correct. You were babies, you were nappies. When I started here at UJ, 0 orange carpet opportunities, okay? Absolutely nothing. So you've got to understand how elite this actually comes in. And I had to look at myself and turn around and say, how can I make everyone sitting here tonight, whether you're a parent, whether you are just matriculating, understand what UJ can do for you. And the true way I can only do that is to reflect back from where I started to where I am now, and show you through that example what you can achieve, and where even just sitting here tonight as an undergraduate, what does the future hold for you in terms of the future, the unplanned, okay? So I have to do a reflection. But before I do this reflection, I need to ask you one question. If I'm going to take you through my career journey, and I had to ask each and every single one of you tonight to walk a bridge with me, which bridge would you walk? Come on. Which one, the top or the bottom? Why? It looks safer. It looks easier. Now, I want you to keep that all in mind, okay, as I take you through my career. So, there's me, grade 1. okay? That's about 1990 or so. Playing around in my Wendy house, I was going to be a scientist. If you asked me what I wanted to do, I was going to be the scientist. I was going to change the world. And then, matric hit. Yeah, it was the acne stage and all of that kind of stuff. But my matric marks weren't exactly, and that is my matric certificate, by the way, sitting there. I wouldn't have even made it into UJ, Eugenius, Orange Carpet, just to let you know. Okay. But I wanted to be the scientist. I even told my science teacher in matric, Mrs., I'm going to be a scientist. And you know what she did? She laughed at me. She laughed at me. She told me, Sherry, never in your wildest dreams. Just do something simple, darling. Okay? Parents, yeah, they weren't so keen on it either, I'm not going to lie to you. It kind of didn't tickle really their fancy, and they weren't very confident in me. But what I did was I registered for my ND in biotechnology. So that was in the Faculty of Health Sciences. But now, parents, this is where all of you are sitting here tonight. My dad said to me, Sherry, I'll pay for your first degree, but you fail. You're going to pay me every single cent back. Yeah, bit of pressure there, but anyway, I studied hard, and I achieved. And you know why I achieved? Because I was passionate about what I wanted to learn. It wasn't the random matric school subjects that didn't inspire me, right? My last year in second last year, I received the Merck Top Chemicals Biotechnology Student Award. And then in 2006, you need to work. You need to gain work experience. And I had to do my internship. But the beauty of it is UJ was again at my side. They actually offered me an internship at the Technical Support Unit in the Faculty of Health Sciences. And so I started doing practicals for undergraduates. So there's me on my graduation day. There's me working at my internship level. But now, okay, so I got my degree. But now what? Do I get a job? Do I carry on studying? Yeah, I don't know. What do you think I did? Yeah. Right, so I wanted to carry on studying. Well, now my dad turned around and he gave me a good life lesson. He turned around and he said to me, Sherry, you're going to study more, but mom and dad can't keep paying more. So now what? Well, just like you heard about all those merit bursaries and things, I did achieve those high marks. I passed with distinction. So there were some merit bursaries, of course. So that allowed me to get some money off my tuition fees. But because I had the experience of being a lab intern, UJ offered me a tutoring position. It wasn't the best money in the world, and I was a laboratory assistant. But hey, guess what? It pays, and it pays for your tuition fees. So work by day, study by night was my philosophy. And so what was my project that I did in my honors year? Very big words over there. But we basically looked at various DNA extraction methods from animal stool samples, or fecal matter in that word, and in isolating those bacterial species and subspecies, what we were able to do is identify the pathogens for rapid detection. Where is this technology sitting today? The recent cholera outbreak that we had, that's the technology that's being used to detect it fast and isolate it. And of course, coming in, that was just the honors. But I still had this feeling, okay, so it's biotech, but like, the health sciences is starting to tickle my fancy a bit more. So, what do you think I went to go do? It's like the surprise slide. Okay, so I moved on to my master's. But this time, because you can carry so many credits for different subjects, and this is the beauty about studying at UJ, is you can start on one path, but the path you end up on is not necessarily, well, the path you start on is not necessarily the path that you're going to end up on. So I did my master's. But now I had to apply and secure bursary funding to support myself. So NRF came into that matter. I got a full innovation scholarship. UJ, just like we heard from finance, offers certain supervisor-linked bursaries, other entities to try help you pay for your studies. And then that little, you know that tutoring thing that I told you about? Turned into that little sideline passion of mine. UJ asked me to lecture biochemistry and disease and immune response. So part-time did that, earning money, studying, this is looking good. And at this stage, I was at the Laser Research Center, where I started to look at photodynamic therapy and how one can try and treat different forms of cancer, which I'll explain to you now. But out of that, I published 2 articles and I attended an international conference. Coming towards the end of this, my degree or studies was recognized, and I actually got the Ernest, Ethel, and Erickson Masters Trust Award for my contributions to science and could continue forward. So, what was this master's about? And this is where now I need to take you to try and say to you, you've got your undergrad. But undergrad is not the be-all and end-all. You've got to further yourself. Your education is everything. It is your key to success. Now, UJ, never mind just undergrad, is what we're offering at postgrad levels. So this was, oh my goodness, am I not even following on the slides here? This was my master's study. So if you're going to look over here, and I don't want to step away from the mic, but this is a cancer patient over here, and what we do is we take a certain photosynthetic drug, and we administer it to that particular patient. But the beauty of these drugs is it comes and it is concentrated into tumors, cancer tumors for that matter. And when we take a certain light, activate it at a certain wavelength, and we concentrate it on that specific region, so we can destroy the cancer cells. And so you can destroy these tumors. But this is still being done in vitro, and when I'm saying in vitro, we're doing it in a lab. But you will see how this research went on later in my life to make such a significant difference. But it was there, but the pursuing mind of wanting to learn more distracts one. So, what do you think I went to go do after I graduated with my master's? Yeah, I adventured. But now I needed something different. I wanted a little bit of a challenge. So I now went to the Water and Health Research Center. But here, I got funded by the Water and Health Research Commission. I got an NRF Scarce Skills Doctor Bursary, a supervisor linked. I lectured for extra money, okay, and I formed part-time research and administrative assistant. Did this all to try and pay for my doctorate, right? Okay, in future my studies, but yep. There's me on my graduation day for my doctorate. There's that, oh my goodness, this doesn't change over. There you go. There's that block thesis that you talk about in your life. The book that no one reads other than you. It's over there. What did I study, or what did I do? Yeah, we investigated home water filtration devices to try and look at how they purify water and how that can overcome and treat South African municipal waters. Here, I was awarded the best overall performing student. And this research also did something significantly later on in my life, because I moved on to a postdoc. Really never gave up, did I now? So, lectured some more, worked some more. we actually then went as far as my postdoc to actually look at some of the biofilm capacity that these water films in pipes in distribution systems in South Africa form. Here again, another 2 technical reports, started co-supervising students. I was awarded the Outstanding Top Achievement for Postdoctoral Studies. But again, it was just, yeah, just there. And you're going to see, and I'll explain to you why there was this shift. But UJ offered me a research associate position. So that I did from 2017 until 2020. Here I sat under a DST, Saatchi chair, researched further, secured grants, secured principal investigator grants with the NRF. I actually got an external award grant from cancer. And the reason I decided to pursue this was because my mom was diagnosed with cancer. And as much as you look into things, what chemo and radiation does, there has to be another solution, right? She's proud. She's in remission. She's still with us. But more international conferences, more lecturing. Okay, and here is when I took the PDT and photodiagnosis that I developed in my master's. Remember that I told you I'd come back to? Acquired certificates thanks to UJ in postgraduate supervision and ethics as well in between all of that. But what we did, sorry, it's not even following you. There you go, research associate. Sorry, it's my master's. My doctorate, oh my goodness. All right. We took a nanoparticle with that photosensitizer, remember I told you about? So it's not dissolved in the body. We then targeted it with an antibody that's highly expressed only on cancer cells, and this is where you learn about personalized medicine. And so what happens is it's only taken up in the body where the tumor is, not like chemo and radiation throughout. And so you just kill what needs to be killed. And I investigated melanoma, lung cancer, colon cancer, breast cancer as well, and colon cancer, before I forget. But the way forward for this to go now is animal testing. And I'm a wuss. I can't play with the bunnies and the mouses. Okay? It's just there. And I laid my platform. And I contributed to science. But an interesting thing came in, and this is where my mom came in. At the same time, I started working at, as you would know, weed. And no, as you all ask, I did not smoke it in the lab, nor did I get high in the lab. It's THC-free, sorry. But we worked on it. And at that point, I started picking up results. And this is now where we went to international conferences. And in 2019, which is fairly recently, oh my goodness, it doesn't change. I got the Vice Chancellor's Most Promising Young Researcher of the Year award. I've graduated many students, and I've done many significant things. But you know that cannabis that we spoke about, it's still inkled in my head. And I had to do something about that. And in 2021, UJ offered me a position as a permanent lecturer and researcher at what is now known to you as the Complementary Medicine Department. And I had to take what I'd learned from my master's, my doctorate, as well as previous research positions, and try and move them through to what one would say is a new research facility. And so in this, I secured, again, many numerous grants. I actually opened up my own research facility at UJ. And what we decided to look at was taking the plants and looking at how we can overcome disease. It's God's gift. It's there. Why not utilize it? But as a scientist, I was compelled by conventional medicine until the day my mother was diagnosed. because it's stage 4 cancer. As a doctor, incurable. As a believer, have faith. So, we then went on to investigate all of these various entities, but my current focus is looking at antibiotic resistance, because the World Health Organization has noted by 2025, about 8 out of every 10 people going into hospital will remain untreated, because there are no more medicines left. So we look at high-risk organisms. And looking at those high-risk organisms, and now extracting what we know as South African plants, and looking at how us as South Africans can make a difference, is where for the first time in my life I can turn around and say my research is proudly South African. That's my students at work. At this current time, these are some of the plants that we are investigating. You've probably got marigold sitting in your garden. Do you know what it can do? No, you just water it. But there are properties, and what I'm trying to do at the moment is take African traditional medicine, herbal medicine, complementary medicine, and give them a face. And give them accreditation for what they needed in South Africa. And so we have looked in the laboratory at some of these, and some of these are proving to be very promising. And these are just some of the results that we are getting out from some of the bacterial species known as escape pathogens, as well as calendula is performing the best. Now, coming into that, you can see you can start off on a BHSC, you can come in on a PG dip. But as well as what UJ can offer you in research, we actually have training facilities, health facilities, care facilities, where should you be doing a degree in health sciences, you would actually be practicing in these clinics, but giving back to the community. We care. All of those kind of entities where you are actually going out and helping the less fortunate while you are doing your community hours. At the end of the day, just to highlight this year, I was awarded my NRF Y2 rating. And I'm not going to take you through all the nitty-gritty, but what I did do is I've graduated 12 honors students, 5 masters cum laude, 1 doctoral student, supervised 2 internships, and 1 postdoctoral fellow. Now, this is where I talk to you tonight. It's the reflection. Oh my goodness, it's not going through. Okay, how did I get there? How? I believed in myself. I studied something I was passionate about, and there was hard work and dedication. But it's not to say all those accolades I showed you wasn't without failures. There were failures. But I overcame them. And so, that is how one becomes accomplished to where they are. But in between your studies, things will happen. Life happens. Okay? Life happened in such a way that I got married just before handing in my doctorate. I had my parents at my side. In 2014, I had a child. I became a parent. And this is one of my biggest life learning lessons. And this is where I speak to the parents of today. And I speak to you. Your mom and dad are right. I didn't really think so at an undergrad level until I became a parent. And my dad always says to me, the day you grow up is the day you bring a life into this world, and you're responsible for it. And now I have this little cute little munchkin running around, and I'm starting to sound like my mom and dad, and I'm so glad they're not sitting here tonight to hear me actually saying this. But your parents are right. Listen to them in your undergrad years. Stay focused. They are there for you, and that is one of your biggest support systems. But now, going through all the things I've spoken to you about tonight, what was the one commonology? UJ. UJ saw me through my career. They were always there, whether it was a job, a bursary, an internship, anything I needed. They were my bridge. But, yeah, look here, there was that little sideline of teaching that came hand in hand with overtime. And I want to share with you what UJ has taught me. And it's that a true teacher is those who use themselves as a bridge over which they invite their students to cross. Then, having facilitated their crossing, they watch the bridge joyfully collapse, but encourage you to make your own. Now, when I started studying like all of you, do you know what my bridge looked like? It's what I asked you in the beginning. It was an old stone bridge. I had a DOS computer. I had dial-up internet. I had a Nokia 5110. I was cool, okay? Still the most indestructible phone to this day, just to let you know. I had to walk into libraries to get resources, and I was taught on what we call a projector. And I took notes. But you know what? I studied, and I accomplished. What is being offered to all of you sitting here tonight? 4RR. Industrial revolution. You've got technology at your fingertips. You have a laptop, a smartphone, free Wi-Fi at UJ, a digital library, people. 10 o'clock at night, you can still look a book up. Okay? Smart management learning systems that you have access to all your notes and textbooks at any one time. You've got tutors. You've got tutorials that can help you through. You've even got clinics that ensure your health and mental wellness. Plus, you've even got more bursary opportunities. So do you understand when I sit back and I have to teach my undergraduates today and I sit there as this old granny, literally, and tell them, do you know how fortunate you are? And it's something that you must come to understand and appreciate. It's UJ's Orange Bridge. But what does UJ put under you is that orange carpet. And you need to be grateful for that. And what I'd like to close with is Madiba himself turned around and said, education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world. But study while others are sleeping, work while others are loafing, prepare while others are playing, and dream while others are wishing. But that bridge you need to cross. If you do not have discipline with goals, you will not become accomplished. And the difference comes in today between school and tertiary education is in school you taught lessons and you're given a test. But today or next year, life starts. And it's where you start growing, but you learn your life lessons. And your talents and abilities will improve over time, but you've got to start somewhere. And tonight is the night that you start at that somewhere. Because with UJ, rethink, reinvent, reimagine, the sky becomes the limit. And I am a true testament to that standing here today. Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Sherry Kruger. That was absolutely exceptional. My goodness. My mind is blown. My mind is open. But I hope above all else, you're also inspired. Not only as a young person, but even us older ones, you know, to just be like, man, maybe I can also rethink and reimagine and reinvent myself and where it is that I find myself. Thank you so much, Dr. Sherry, for sharing your journey with us with so much passion, but so much insight as well. And congratulations on all your phenomenal achievements. Wow, that's all I can say. Another round of applause for Dr. Kruger. On to our final item for this evening. I'd like to invite for a closing item members from the UJ Arts Academy.